It's WG, bring you SMB, and welcome to Valora Surprise Kit Release. We now have the information on our next Light Armor Full Moon Ancestor. As you see right here, this is Valora, and she is in fact Light Armor Full Moon Ancestor, which means full on straight up DPS. The question is how DPS, and can she keep up with T.Aiona? Because keep in mind, she is free. You only need to get 4 copies of Julius, 4 copies of Cyrene, and then whatever she costs. So I would estimate between 90 to 100,000 total meat of rebirth, which means from now, if you've played since release, it's going to take around 2.5 to 3 more months to get her. Usually you can expect around 20,000 meat a month. All right, so let's check it out. We are here. So before we go into the skills, we have the name Valora, the title is the Ashen Steed, and the quote is the 3 oaths of a knight: protect the weak with mercy, face the strong with courage, and serve the family with loyalty forever. That sounds pretty awesome. Okay, so let's swap over to the second image, just as like, I guess, a visual guide, you could say, where right here we have a bunch of text. So, basic attack, deals damage to the main target. Wow, revolutionary. Then we have the trait Blazing Heart. Valora gains increased damage and crit rate based on the area of Burning Heart. Enemies within Burning Heart's area receive Soul Blaze. Soul Blaze. Targets take critical damage and every 3 seconds receive additional damage. Take increased critical damage. Okay, so a unit that increases the crit damage received, a unit that makes you others take more damage, a unit that increases their own crit rate. Okay. Combat skill, Irreversible Charge. So that should be this big one right here. At the start of the battle, charges forward, dealing physical damage to the first enemy hit. Enemies within the circular area formed at the end of the charge gain the Burning Heart, which is part of the trait, with the first enemy struck becoming the main target. Enemies in Burning Heart continuously take physical damage. Every interval, all enemies with Burning Heart take additional damage, which always crits, which works together fantastically with them taking more crit damage. And also, yeah, seems like crit rate and crit damage are echo target stats for her. Okay, ultimate, the final. A full charge skill. Charges at the farthest enemy, dealing damage to all enemies in her path. Deals damage to the target and surrounding enemies in a circular area, inflicts daze. And grants herself a shield. If the shield is broken, Valora gains unselectable status. Unselectable is probably the same thing that a Fleeting Bella has, where for a time she can't be targeted. Unselectable as an untargetable. Sorry if my head was in the way. And then after charging, continues forward, striking enemies along the way and damaging all enemies in a fan-shaped area. Each charge during the ultimate leaves behind Burning Heart, dealing damage to enemies within. Story introduction. Alright people, we have something very important here, and that's obviously the ult animation. If you want to see it, that's how it goes. You can really see her ride around with her horse. But then, look at the cost. Look at the cost. It's 6 cost. Is that worth it? That's the big question, right? Like, can she truly cook with it? It's absolutely possible, but it has to be one hell of an ultimate. But you can look at how long the ultimate is, though. You see that blue bar? So she might just continuously be charging. It's obviously cut off. The ultimate is longer, but you see how like that blue bar, so it should be like a 10-15 second ultimate. It's so hard to tell. If you ride into battle, it must be for a reason. The reason I ride in the past, now and forever, there's only one. Loyalty, a creed passed down through generations of the Wingis family. Valora embodied this creed to the utmost. As the sharpest knight under the old master's command, she fought tirelessly in the jousting arena, carrying countless honors to her clan. Even though the old master has passed away, her unwavering loyalty has never wavered. Wow. Within her burns an unshakable conviction to uphold the legacy of Bartley. Only with the true bloodline can the tradition continue. So, for those of you that haven't yet quite made the connection, which is quite interesting, is she is an assassin, alright? She is a half-moon She's a full moon full moon light armor assassin from the Ancestor faction that rides a horse. Like, as far as I can tell, she's pretty much 100% of the time riding on a horse, but she's still an assassin. And yeah, overall, you know what's kind of interesting? The way I see this is one of the reasons why Timeless Aiona is so strong is because Timeless Aiona has 4 skills. As in, her basic attack is a skill in itself. Because if you remember, Timeless Aiona's basic attack said something along the lines of, if your HP shield is over 60%, do this and that, and then if your shield is over 100%, do this and that, right? Like the 7 hits and then the max percentage hits. That's one of the reasons why Timeless is so strong, because she doesn't have 3 skills like everybody else. No, she has 4. The only other comparable unit I would say is Lorelei, whereas Lorelei has like a different attack during her ultimate and also more damage. Or I guess a bit more of like the sleep with the basic attack. And both units are very, very strong. So she doesn't have a super special basic attack. But overall, looking at this, we have increased damage and crit rate based on the area. Interesting. So what that means, just like the more burning heart areas on the field, the more crit rate and damage she deals. And she should, a full charge skill, charges at the farthest enemy, dealing enemies in her path damage to the target and surrounding enemies, and grants a silver shield. After charging, she continues forward, attacking enemies along the way and in a fan-shaped area. So, important questions here. How much, right? How much damage, how much crit rate does she gain? How high are the base stats? What's the ultimate cost? And also, yeah, I guess how long is the unselectable status? And how serious do we have to take Burning Heart? Furthermore, can Burning Heart count as a debuff, right? Like a DOT. Does it work with a T-Hearty? If it does, all of a sudden, 2 values going to the moon. So yeah, this is Valora. This is going to be our free Ancestor, attainable in around 2 months, 3 months, 3.5 to 4 months at like the later part if you're playing actively in every clan hunt. And outside of that, obviously tryable in around 14 hours. So as usual, thank you all so much for watching, and we see each other in the next one. Peace!